it might surprise people to find out that we are a treasure trove of technological disasters.
Us? No.
Of
Have you
which,
seen Jersey Camp?
it's worked. This is the second time filming this. The first time, it was a great episode, possibly the best one we've ever done. Oh, except for the fact that the microphone died prior to us filming it, and it was just us in silence doing this and like really engaging.
My best Marcel.
Now we need to keep that episode and do like mystery theater.
Do a
like,
dub over?
Yeah,
Sure.
Like and just be saying that like us shadows like commenting on
Like,
it.
or it's like a foreign language film,
Yeah.
and we're just
And we
putting
could
a
just
whole
dub
new
it.
plot over that has nothing to do with anything.
Now,
One
the
of my
best thing that
favorite
came
ones
out of that
anyway.
episode, if you remember, is that we played a game of Magic Eye where we looked at the Thrashers logo in two completely different ways. And I'm gonna look forward to doing this again in a second. What did you do?
No. We get
We're gonna
they
do
do
it
the
next
intro.
on Ugly Third.
What did you do?
We have
Yeah,
to do the
then-
intro.
Bill's
yeah,
being
yeah.
impatient. All right, fine. Next on Ugly
Do
Third.
everything you wanna
Fine,
do,
Phil.
Phil. And that's fine. You just do whatever you want to, Phil. This is the Phil Show, sponsored by Ugly
Stop
Third.
fighting! Oh my God, stop fighting!
Welcome back to Ugly Thirds. Today's topic will be the Thrashers jerseys, Jersey Memory Lane. Yeah, you two take it away.
Okay.
Oh wow.
All
Okay,
right, well,
that's fine.
Got heated.
So we went through the top three and bottom three of every team in the league, and we came to some of these. Okay, we should do the defunct teams, but there's a lot of them that don't have enough to do a top and
Right.
bottom three properly.
The show would already be over if we did that. So.
Right. So we're just going to go through the Thrashers' history, a bit of a retrospective, if you will, but not a reverse retrospective. So we're memory lane.
This was such a weird franchise.
Top to bottom, yeah, it was.
Correct me if I'm wrong. They intended on playing another year. Nope, scratch that. The switch to Winnipeg was late in the season, correct?
Yeah, it was like a couple weeks and like it's happening.
Right. So we left Winnipeg on short notice and showed up in Atlanta, and it's evident by these jerseys that there wasn't a lot of preparation in all this.
Well, but like Atlanta was an expansion team. Yeah, like I think you might be thinking in the opposite direction.
Maybe I no, you know what? Maybe I am.
Because like this was an expansion team. Phil, when they wear this inaugural set?
So the navy blue was 1999 to 2006, and the white was an additional year, went to 2007.
So this was the original set, and from the start, when you're a brand new team, you have to do a lot of branding and get things exactly right so people recognize who you are. Do you see a problem here yet?
I do.
Let's call Phil.
Well, one, we've learned that shoulder patches really don't make good crests, so it's kind of the reverse because we have a crest that ends up being a shoulder patch.
Not what I'm looking for, but okay, go ahead, Trent.
What team are you marketing at home, and what team are you marketing on the road?
You have two very, very, very different logos here. If you can't settle on a team logo to start with,
Right.
like, okay, you can flip colors if that's what you need to do, but you should not go beyond that.
In the cold open, I'd like to return to that conversation that we had. I always saw I, beak.
Which I had never even thought of as like it's the bird looking at you like staring.
But you told me this is the
that's
beak
the head.
here.
It's flying upward like a phoenix and blew his. I wish we had a clip of that even if it was in silence.
We should dub it over.
Put like the entertainer over top of it.
We should dub it over.
And not the Billy Joel entertainer. This tripod today. That I think it's clearly a bird in flight going up, which I think is a great looking logo.
It's fine.
As opposed to this, which has been referred to as it's being flushed.
The Atlanta Flashers? That's not right.
But like, yeah, So the thrasher is the state bird of Georgia, and I don't know anything beyond that. Like that's what it is, and I don't see any of the value in any of this.
Think about how birds are used in sports. You have a very regal approach in Baltimore, the Orioles. You have a very fierce approach in Philadelphia.
Or Baltimore with the Ravens.
Or the Ravens, yes. In Philadelphia with the Eagles.
Yeah.
Regal with the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
I don't know enough about a thrasher to know whether or not it's a regal bird or if it's a fierce and menacing bird.
And they definitely went with the cartoonish mascot bird here.
Yeah.
And here, but not here or here. I just in general, I think it's a branding nightmare. Like okay, so you got these cool designs going across, and you have these interesting sleeves, but which also do not do anything on the back, which I always find interesting. Like it's not the same.
Now, something worth noting: this Cyrillic-ish type font.
Yeah, it's a very interesting font.
It's cool. It's edgy. But I don't know if it's enough to save the jersey.
I did. So Phil, if you can jersey cam this for a moment, if I can distract you.
I was looking something up, but okay.
That I'm not as sure on those. These are actually kiss cut numbers.
Now, what is kiss cut?
Okay, so if I can have you slide back to the other one, which I know I told you just do the opposite.
Which one am I?
No, I mean like in the jersey cam. Like go back to the white. So jersey numbers are layers on top of layers. This gold layer is just the full thing underneath. You can pull off this blue and you see a full gold number, right? And so you just layer over layer over layer. Okay. Kiss cut is the opposite, where this concentration, this white is the bottom layer. This gold is just the outside. Is that as close as it can get? Yeah. So it is a thin
you can see it.
Gold outline on top of the white, which seems like a nightmare to sew. Like to try and put those layers together, oh my god. And they did it up here with these letters too. This gold is on top of the white.
That's tedious.
Which over here it is not. It is white on top of gold.
Yeah.
Like that is a level of detail where even in the gritty details, they could not get any kind of consistency in this team.
None whatsoever.
It's unbelievable.
But I do have a solution. What about baby blue?
Yes, the solution.
Why would you not see this as an opportunity to introduce
it's Blue Land, right?
Baby blue jersey.
Baby blue. And if you're not sure where it's from,
well, how do you know where this is from?
It's true, you don't. But let's take up a whole sleeve. Never mind sleeve numbers. That's not important. We'll just have that on one side. Phil, we're gonna put you to work again. So, like the details in this thing, which eventually we got to get into in like a real episode of just these things. First off, we have the underarm vents, and this fabric is the exact same setup as the Nashville Predators mustard cat.
Yep.
But because it's light blue and dark blue, it actually like works. And also one of the first jerseys to have a collar smooth, where like there's a piece of fabric behind it, like Reebok did.
Yep.
That didn't exist before. So there's a number of this is purely fashion and doesn't even like make it so you can pull it over your head without stretching it out, which is the original idea of lace-up collars. But like this asymmetry, like why?
What's your hot take on the hemline down here? Are Thrashers one-footed birds? Like are they just like?
I honestly don't know what as far as pattern goes, I like it.
Yeah.
But my goodness, there's just so much going on in this thing. and just why?
Most of these jerseys come to mind because this was a popular Kovalchuk jersey.
Yeah.
Like they had the player to market the team.
Yeah.
And they did all right.
Byron Defoe wasn't doing it for you in these?
Yeah, it's fair.
But no, it's not. That's not enough.
So I just looked up Thrasher, by the way. So continuing on.
Oh, okay. So just keep talking, and you're not gonna give us any insight.
Well, when you finish your
thing, okay,
I want to let you know.
All this said, it wasn't until then, until the people of Atlanta knew that they had a hockey team. But what was the hockey team nickname? Genius branding. They were the Thrashers, of course.
And so between the two,
Betwixt 8 years, in case there was a... Wow, that's terrible. Oh, wow, that's stitching.
I could try and put a stitch on that. That's involved.
This is full circle. They are the Atlanta Thrashers.
Yay! All right, Phil, let's hear what a thrasher is. We'll come back to this.
It's actually kind of clever,
Spoilers.
actually. I mean, it's the Georgia State bird, right? But they're about a foot long. They move their bill back and forth through piles of leaves like a broom sweeping a floor. So kind of like a hockey stick, kind of pushing back and forth. So kind of like that, and they're very aggressive. But they also are superstar singers. A male thrasher can sing more songs than any other bird in North America.
Which feels like more of a Nashville thing, but well, I guess Atlanta has its music scene. Yeah, all right. Well, I shouldn't.
I mean, but they're also brown, and well,
I wouldn't have minded a brown attempt. Like
someone made a Thrashers like if they existed in the '70s, and it was brown, orange, and gold, and it looked really good.
Isn't the shoulder thrasher on the
the
word mark jersey?
Kind of. Well, I mean, this is the same logo as this. Like, it's a brown in a way.
Yeah, but like that's brown.
Oh, that
this
is
the
a
color
brown.
you're looking
this
for.
is
Here.
it's all supposed to be the same. It's all supposed to be the same color. I think it's just because of printing versus.
But yeah, that's your brown thrasher.
It's a ornithological corner with Phil Prevost.
It's on Nat Geo for kids.
Ooh, that's why
they let you onto that website finally.
But you know, everybody's heard about the bird. The bird is somewhere.
You and I know this. That's not the internet anymore.
Yeah.
Like that has to be a meme, or else we don't know. The kids aren't gonna know what it is.
But like, you know, my last thought. You know where the blue comes from?
Yeah.
This.
Yeah.
Or this in the logo. Like that's the only reason why. Oh yeah, baby blue is a color. Sure it is.
Did you talk about the change when they went to Edge?
Well, so let's talk about the change. Before you bring up that third jersey yet again. When they moved to the Reebok Edge system, they tried to replicate these sleeves, or perhaps you could hold out those white sleeves. Look how similar these are. They certainly captured the spirit of the thing. Wow. And then they put apron stripes on it. That's fun. And no hemline, so if you didn't like your little one-footers.
Tiny crest.
You look how much smaller it got just because of I guess it's because of the cut. Teeny tiny. And it just brutalized the whole thing. Like
yeah.
it's really a shame what they did. And then the only jersey we don't own is the Reebok version of the blue one. Which, if once you get that up, if you want to say when they wore these, Phil.
So is the Reebok on here, right?
Yes.
2007 to 2011.
Yeah. So the white and the baby blue, and you can see that they took away the hemline stripe and they added underarm things. And Atlanta is still there. And these are still strangely expensive. And then you want to come back to us. And then they introduced one last jersey. I know you've been clearly chomping at the bit for it.
Yeah, this one right here.
Thrashers.
You gave it an awesome nickname.
The motocross jersey?
Yes.
Yeah, I can't take full credit for that.
And now I can't unsee it.
Yeah, no, so there's a rumor or a story that the NHL wanted to try jerseys with bigger numbers. My tinfoil hat thing is the numbers on the front means you have to buy it customized, and so like
or
you
just
get more money. Right, you get more money out of it because you have to buy it customized. NFL doesn't sell blank jerseys, right? So CFL does. That's a whole weird thing. Anywho, and so they're like, well, no one's going to care if we do it in Atlanta. Like, no one's going to complain because no one's going to notice.
Fair.
And so they did. And so they came up with this monstrosity with what is happening here. What is this? What is this, like, gold, and then, like, what is that stripe? Like, just, there's nothing good about this except maybe the font that we've seen before.
But this whole look, like, oh my god, these Reebok jerseys are just killing me. Because it took me a long time to find this jersey, and I had it in pretty good condition.
And you're not even throwing through a machine wash.
No. But for me, this logo right here might not have been a bad first attempt out of the gate for a brand new
If they
franchise.
started there, or at least that was the secondary to the T-Bird.
Sure. Or that patch that you found.
let's look at this unused 10th anniversary patch. I think this
They made it 10 years,
exemplifies
which is a miracle.
everything that's wrong with the team is this patch.
They had a playoff appearance or two, but super retro looking. But I don't mind that Thrasher. It's like a combination of what they have on the shoulder here, and a combination of the
Mozilla Firefox.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Well, now you can't say that. Phil, can you edit that out? He can't say that without
Copyright.
without permission. So
Like put that back up for a second. Look at how many colors are in that.
It's
You
all
know
the
everything
colors.
that's wrong with this team. How many colors are in that?
Could you have put that on this jersey?
It's 5, 6. Well, if you count white as the absence of color, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colors.
Okay, art major.
I'm just saying.
Art minor over here.
I knew a guy named Art Minor.
Yeah.
And just look how much is going. Like there are so many different things. There's so many different elements. There's so many colors. This is a team that never could settle on any one thing.
Right. This is proof.
You can come back.
This is proof. That picture right there is proof that
Thi-
there are so many inconsistencies and opinions that everybody's like, yeah, that's a great opinion. Let's do that. No, yeah, put that in there
Why
too.
can't we do one home, one away? Why can't we have a very different third jersey? Why can't we add in all the colors?
Yeah.
Like
Motocross reminds me of like a poncho put onto the white original jersey. Because how the white and the blue underneath the things, it's just like someone flipped over the burgundy or
a burgundy poncho has been
Yeah.
placed on top
like
of.
that's all I can see. Now.
The whole identity is a mess. It never, and considering that Atlanta had this for the decade of hockey they had prior to this, like how is this? Gwinnett / Atlanta Gladiators have had a fantastic look their entire existence.
Yeah.
Every version has been good.
Mhm.
Like why? I think that this team never had a chance to catch on because it was so all over the place.
Nope. And in a non-hockey market, like you have to get people hooked out of the gate, and you just didn't do it.
Did not do it.
I mean,
at all.
you look at Dallas; they moved from Minnesota, and they won the cup almost,
which helped.
So that they found a branding. You know, you had
Vegas has a very similar thing. I mean,
Right.
going to Cup Finals year one, and then
right,
6
and
years
winning
in.
it. Yeah. Who the other one I'm thinking of? When Colorado,
Same thing. They moved to won a cup.
Hartford moved to Carolina, won a cup. So like you had these
Well,
teams. They won a cup in Carolina.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah,
5
like
years,
5 years later.
Yeah, but I'm saying within
Yeah.
like a couple years, like you had these teams that established. This was after Calgary left; they got a cup. There was nothing that really established. They weren't that great, so they had to make money somewhere, and they just.
But like
floundered.
the Dallas Stars, their logo says Stars, and they added Dallas within 2 years.
Yeah.
Right. Colorado's a hockey market, and even though they didn't have an NHL team, that's like Carolina. At least they had a very consistent brand. They had 2 logos. It was always the same thing. Home and road were the same thing with change red to white. Like it was all you got to be very consistent with a new team. Which we've had a discussion with minor league logos. How many of them actually say their name on it?
Yeah.
I've even had the thing with like how flags are being changed across the country.
Yeah.
If you're small enough, you should have your name on a flag because people don't know who you are. Which is why like Atlanta is not the dumbest thing to have. I just don't like it being an entire sleeve where sleeve numbers can't exist.
Yeah.
I also don't like asymmetrical jerseys, so I'm biased already. But like this should have there should have been an Atlanta jersey or an Atlanta or something like nowhere on here, and there's the logos between home and road are completely different until you get to the Reebok era, and by then it's too late.
Yeah. Maybe the thought process is, well, if people want a hockey jersey, they're gonna have 5 to choose from.
That might be the thought.
Maybe we get them all. Maybe we spend our hard-earned money and or maybe we don't get any of them.
Yeah, which is in hindsight the wrong way to go. You get everyone buying a home jersey, and you have them all wear it, and then you have that sea of red or white out or whatever
You
home.
You make a good point about Carolina. Something about just keeping it simple out of the gate.
They didn't have a third for years, and even then it was just swapping the logo and making it the third color.
Yeah.
So
Also, real fast, the original logo probably looked like that because they didn't want to look like the penguin. Because the penguin is a bird with a stick going that way. And that's probably
No,
why it
yeah,
got
I
changed
mean,
like that. It's
yes,
very
but
close.
at the same time, this existed.
Well, then, yeah, that just...
Which is I wear this jersey out and people are like, oh, who is this? Which tells you two things. One, it looks good because people want to engage. And two, the branding is so bad they have no idea who it is.
Right.
This is a logo you could wear anywhere and people are going to be like, oh, that's interesting.
Solve that problem for you right
Yeah,
here.
right. Thrasher brand motocross.
And we're a shade under 20 minutes for this show.
Excellent. So,
thanks for the 2 people sticking around the whole entire way.
Under 20 minutes.
So he's Shrems, I'm John. Phil, take us out in very different ways so that everyone gets what they want.
Okay. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe.
He didn't do it. One thing. We asked you to do one thing. Take us out in different ways.
Different ways?
Yes,
okay.
now do something different.
And now for something completely different.
Tune in. Another episode coming next week. See you soon. Here on Luther's.
To say he's a one-trick pony is not right. Because Phil doesn't have any tricks.
So they didn't move from Atlanta to Winnipeg back to Atlanta?
Not yet.